G'day, it's fugitive Australian journalist Shane Dowling from the website kangaroocourtofaustralia.com. Now, I just wanted to read you out the titles of a number of articles I've written over the last couple of years in relation to Peter Dutton. It's called Peter Dutton's Greatest Criminal Scams, and it helps explain why the Liberal Party lost the Aston by-election. A government hasn't won a seat from the opposition for over 100 years, a by-election anyhow, and they managed to win the Aston by-election. And I think a large part of it was because Peter Dutton's so unpopular. And when I read out these titles of these articles I've written over the last couple of years, it's pretty obvious why he is so unpopular. And it's pretty hard to see him leading the Liberal Party for much longer. He might last till the end of the year, he might last early next year. But I think then he'll have to go, because it's pretty hard to see him winning any election ever. They might look back and say, well, Tony Abbott managed to win an election, but even Tony Abbott didn't have anywhere near as much baggage as Peter Dutton. So I'll read you out these titles of the articles I've written over the last couple of years. Now, in October 2020, I wrote an article titled Federal MP Peter Dutton covers up $39 million fraud and theft at the Australian Border Force. They appointed two barristers to investigate the $39 million contract. It was very dodgy. And ultimately, they appointed someone else to oversee that, and those two barristers were sacked. Now, in November 2021, I published an article titled Peter Dutton perjures himself to win a $35,000 defamation payout, but refuses to sue regarding numerous allegations of corruption. Corruption allegations I've made, others have made. He sued a Twitter user over a trivial matter, but he won't sue people over the allegations of corruption. Now, March 2022, I published an article. Peter Dutton handed over $82 million of taxpayers' money to another dodgy company, and his alleged cokehead friend made money selling cars to the same company. Now, that's in relation to a video that Friendly Geordies did. I published an article on it later. And once again, he never sued Friendly Geordies. He hasn't sued me. He hasn't sued anyone. Now, in September 2022, I published an article. Peter Dutton perjured himself trying to get $250,000 compensation. New Four Corners interview shows. Now, I've written a number of articles on Peter Dutton and his time at the Queensland Police Service. He tried a lawsuit against the Queensland Police to get $250,000. Where it ended up, I'm not too sure. I think it was settled out of court. But he seemed to, well, he didn't seem to be. He was lying. He was telling court one thing and he was telling the media another thing. And I exposed that. Now, in October 2022, I published an article. Peter Dutton and his dodgy $1.8 billion deal with Canstruck, who had no staff, no revenue, no assets, will the NAC investigate the National Anti-Corruption Commission. I think they have to investigate that, and I think they have to investigate all the matters I've just raised pretty much. Now, in February 2023, I published an article, Peter Dutton attending George Pell's funeral is a political equivalent, tying your dinghy to the Titanic after it hit the iceberg. Why Peter Dutton would show up to George Pell's funeral is beyond me. I think maybe he was pressured by some of the old Liberal parties like John Howard and Tony Abbott maybe to go. It certainly didn't win him any votes. The New South Wales Liberal leader and the New South Wales Labor leader, neither of them went, nor did the Prime Minister. Now, they're just some of the articles I've written, not all of them. You can go to my website, Kangaroo Court of Australia, in the search box in the top right-hand corner, put in Peter Dutton, and you'll be able to come up with all the articles I've written about him. And just even reading the titles of those articles without reading all the articles, a whole lot of them, gives you an indication of why Peter Dutton is so unpopular and why ultimately he'll destroy the Liberal Party if he stays leader. Now, I'll publish an article on Thursday the 13th of April on my website, Kangaroo Court of Australia. So you can go to the article on my website and you'll be able to click on the links to all those articles and sort of update your knowledge of Peter Dutton. A lot of people probably don't know who he is still. People who follow politics do, but people who don't follow politics very closely probably don't know who he is. But reading those articles, you'll soon find out who he is. And he's not a man of credibility or honesty or integrity. He's a two-bit criminal. And ultimately, I think he will be investigated by the National Anti-Corruption Commission. And that's why he fought so hard to make sure the National Anti-Corruption Commission inquiries were held in private. He didn't want to be in public in the witness stand answering questions like Gladys Berejiklian did or John Barilaro did recently in the New South Wales Anti-Corruption Commission. And Kangaroo Court of Australia's independent media. I publish a YouTube channel, website, Facebook page and Twitter account. and I'm relying on donations to keep on publishing. So if you could support my Patreon account, it'd be greatly appreciated. Currently sitting on 219 supporters, donating $1,460 a month. And that's what helps me publish the articles and videos. And you can donate any amount, $3, $5, $10, $15, $20 a month. It all helps out. And please share the video on Facebook and Twitter, etc. Thank you for your time and have a good day.